Hello everyone, welcome to Astro Life on Instagram. Every Wednesday, we will invite different astrologers come here to talk about the current transit and the interesting event, especially what related to what's happened now. So today is our pleasure to have Leanne come to join us. Wow, Leanne is very familiar with Instagram now.
Just until the end appear on my screen. I think it will be very soon.
Hi, Rod.
Hiya, I'm so happy to see you.
You too, you too. Yes, I'm getting better at Instagram.
I know you hear that. Yes, it is, but I think Instagram is a very different media because most people are used to recording on Zoom and put on here. But I do enjoy, Instagram is like a live and we can really live stream on the Instagram. And we have a lot of, user using the Instagram at this moment. So, it's a different media. So, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm finding this eclipse season quite heavy going. I'm very lunar anyway, so I think if you're a lunar person, you are a little bit more sensitive to the eclipse. So yes, it's been quite hard work, but I think this stellium in Scorpio is pulling out all sorts of emotional shit, basically. Sorry for swearing, but it's pulling
No,
out
I
a
don't mind.
load of shit. It really is. And, obviously I've been watching the news. We're watching the situation in Israel
Yeah.
and everything that's going on in the world. We're watching the inquiry into the COVID
Yes.
situation with the government, and there's all sorts of toxic stuff coming out of that inquiry. And all the planets in Scorpio, the opposite Jupiter, so it's about legal things.
Yeah.
So I've been writing down these ideas because I see so much in the news as
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through the days, and I have cards everywhere, and I have to write down things in case I forget them, and I'm like, I must remember to say that. And I know we were going to talk about the Venus Neptune
Yeah.
opposition on Friday, on the 3rd.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that, but I need to tell you a really strange story that happened to me just this afternoon, which sums up everything. It sums up the Scorpio Taurus opposition that we have at the moment, and it's going to sum up the Venus Neptune situation that we have on Friday.
Yeah.
So for a while, I've noticed that the gutters outside the front of my house have been
Yeah.
leaking. There's a puddle outside my front door,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, I must get those gutters fixed. There's a bracket broken, or there's just something not right with them. So I went outside today, got some ladders. Look, I'm very practical. I'm very
Yep.
DIY. I have a Capricorn moon. Yeah, I do it
Yes,
myself.
indeed.
Right? So I climbed up the ladders, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with these gutters. The pipes are fine. So I
Mm-hmm.
looked to the bottom. I'm like, uh-oh, it's in the drain at the bottom.
Ouch.
So I pulled the lid off the drain. It was completely blocked. It's complete Scorpio blockage,
Yes.
all this sort of stuff. So I started digging in with my hand, just without thinking,
I
pulling
can
out all
imagine
this.
that.
Pulling out all this stuff. I was up to my elbow, and there was still water leaking from the gutter, from the pipes.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, oh no, the pipe is blocked. So I put my hand at the bottom of the pipe, and it was absolutely blocked solid.
Oh,
It's
wow.
that classic
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio blockage, and it can be literal in real life, or it
Yes.
can be emotional. It's that constipated emotional blockage,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So I spent half an hour pulling stuff out of this drain pipe, and it came out, and it was about that long, and it was
Ooh.
just solid mud, branches, leaves, debris that must have been stuck there for years and years and years. And we've got a storm coming to the UK in the next couple of days. We've got floods already, don't we? And we're going to have more floods because the ground is so waterlogged. You know, Scorpio, Taurus, water, earth. Venus, Neptune, earth and water. Okay? There's so much water. And if we don't make sure that everything is flowing freely in our real lives and our emotional lives, if there's any form of blockage, I think this Venus Neptune opposition on Friday is going to bring flooding. There's going to be no resistance. There's, you know, I think there's going to be flooding. And of course, Saturn in Pisces is stationing on Saturday on the 4th as well. Saturn's about blockage and barriers. So I would say to everyone, if you've got bad weather coming in, make sure all your pipes and gutters don't have any blockage, okay? But
I have a question. So the physical body, like a pipe, or the all the things, we can deblock it. We can, like you, very brave, use your hand to get it out. How about emotion?
Absolutely. It's I think we have gone through so much in the past few years. I think we've held so much emotion in. And just as an example, the COVID inquiry in the UK, all the victims, all the people that died perhaps needlessly, all their relatives who've held all this emotion, and they're now watching all the toxic behavior that went on in the UK government during COVID. It's all going to come out and explode. And, you know, if we don't try and let those emotions out somehow, whether it's through talking or exercise or therapy or just acknowledging that you are holding on to emotions, because that Scorpio Taurus axis is full at the minute and it holds on, doesn't it? Really hold on. We've got to acknowledge where we're holding on to blockage and then try and find a way of releasing this blockage before it floods us and before it just sort of makes us just give up. You know, when the pressure's too much, something's going to burst, isn't it? It's like a dam. Something will burst, whether that's the pipes at the front of your house or whether it's internally and emotionally. Something will burst unless you try and clear the blockage.
You really give us a very great example about the pipe and you know, and the things is because a couple of days ago we see another photo about the sewage was blocked and you couldn't see that. You really just like feel so uncomfortable. But and you were just even I was just thinking about another storm is coming. What's going to happen there again?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like we're so soaked in emotion already. We've got to just clear the way so that we don't get an explosion. And I tell you, when I finally pulled all that blockage from the pipe this afternoon, it popped out and exploded all over me, and I fell backwards and I was covered with mud and dirt and debris, and it felt great. I was just like, yes, that was great.
Well, dude, I was wondering one thing. Apparently, apart from the moon, and I didn't see any major planet is in air sign.
No.
Am I correct? Yeah. So Venus is in Virgo. Yeah. There's no major planet. Only today, luckily, we have a moon move through the air sign, so that can help us to express, you know. But I think usually this kind of a feeling when there is no planet in the air sign are usually difficult to express, you know, especially for people who doesn't really practice or who doesn't have, you know, not used to this type of air energy or air, quality, then
Yeah.
that must feel a little bit intense, I think.
It's very intense. It's hard to communicate. And if you're feeling emotional and think, oh, I need to talk to someone, I need to speak to someone, it's not so easy when there's no air to do that. And that brings the danger that you hold it inside. Doesn't, yeah, yeah.
I think, sorry, I just read one of our friends suggest that hold on, there's more damage.
Yeah.
Then let go, release, which is true. Yeah, which is true. But sometimes, some people, I mean, well, I don't know who anyone else. I know myself. Sometimes I enjoy that feeling of a hold.
Yeah.
And you don't know why, because you don't want to change, maybe.
No, I think it depends on how your natal chart is, how natural communication is to you. But I think as well, all this Scorpio energy, we've got, what do we have? We've got Mercury, Mars, Moon, the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Sun, and we've got Ceres there, dwarf planet Ceres there.
Okay.
And it's hard to release. There's a lot of energy holding on. Mars is in rulership. Mars is very, very strong. And Mars will not release in Scorpio. It will not give in. It will not give in.
Yeah.
So I do think if we're holding on to, I said toxic feelings, toxic thoughts, toxic trauma, but it's pain as well. There's a lot of pain there. And it's sort of very, very heavy inside. And without the air to help us communicate that pain, it is difficult. So yeah, but I think we don't want to sit there thinking there's nothing I can do about this. I'm just going to sit and wait for it all to happen. I think we have to be really proactive in helping ourselves. And that's another Scorpio theme, isn't it? It's about healing our trauma, healing our pain, but we have to put the work in. We do have to put work in to help release what's holding us back or hurting us. Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. I was wondering about this set of Venus opposite Neptune. Are they be helpful in this situation?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's so much fixed energy at the minute with this Scorpio Taurus axis. That Venus Neptune opposition is mutable. It's mutable. It gives us some flexibility, which we need with all this this fixed energy. It gives us the opportunity to compromise, perhaps. To accept our situation. Mutable energy accepts things more than fixed or cardinal energy does.
True, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I'm just looking at Israel today. They've actually opened the border into Egypt, and they're finally letting people flow through. That is that Venus Neptune opposition, allowing the flow. It's allowing aids to come in. It's allowing the people who are suffering to be helped. Without a doubt. Yeah.
It is very interesting because we somehow talk about the situation in Israel, and when the things happen is during the eclipse season, and the Mars was right opposite Jupiter, where from the apply to exact, and then now I really say, that is, I don't want to go too deeper, and we don't need to choose the side. I just want people, people feel, normal people, they don't deserve all this kind of terrible experience. Let me just stop here. But I really hoping, because this morning I was, I read a post from our colleague Liz Hedway, and she bring the news about the Rafah gate was open and allowed people going in now. Then I look at that chart, I say, well, I wonder what's going to happen when Sun opposite Jupiter, because I know the Andre Babu usually bring the Sun Jupiter conjunction or even Venus Venus Sun conjunction or even Venus Jupiter time as a, what do we call it? The ceasefire, peace talk time?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Is there a possibility?
Well, that happens the same day as the Venus Neptune opposition. And I was looking at the Israel chart, and that Venus Neptune opposition actually forms a kite in Israel's chart.
Okay.
So Israel has its IC at 25 Capricorn, Sun at 23 Taurus, Venus will be at what, 24, 25?
Yes.
Pisces,
25.
Virgo.
Yeah.
So you've got a grand Earth trine there, and then Neptune opposite will form that grand Earth trine into a kite. So I wonder if perhaps they are going to start thinking in a more practical way.
Yeah.
Because I
hope so.
think Israel has reacted from a very deep Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio, plutonic, revengeful way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this might just bring some realism to the situation. I hope.
Really hope, because I think neither side's people deserve these kind of things. Yeah, and it is better to watch, to be honest. But and we can see all this opposition also help us to reflect. I think one thing I like the opposition in the psychological astrology meaning is about projection and reflection. I somehow wonder when I see this set of a Venus opposite Neptune. Somehow I don't know why I just keep adding the words like too good to be true, because there is a beautiful things there. How do you see this set of opposition?
Well, whenever we talk about a Venus-Neptune opposition in the natal chart, we often describe it as having rose-tinted glasses on, don't we? Yeah. So let's hope that this isn't just an illusion. Let's hope it is genuine. But I think it will certainly be relaxing or compromising or giving way. Yeah, which is what we need amongst all of that fixed energy, without a doubt. And with Mars opposite Jupiter, the Sun opposite Jupiter that day as well, perhaps it's about some better judgment from the leadership, some, seeing the bigger picture, standing back, seeing the bigger picture and thinking, right, let's be a bit more practical about this. I'm hoping.
No, I 100% agree with you. This with the Sun Jupiter opposition, and with that big picture, and also the Venus opposite Neptune. That is also a kindness, or thinking about the humanity, or thinking about rather than thinking about your own grief or something, is about the whole humanity. Because I think this world, we probably don't really need more war, more torturing, because I am someone who enjoy mundane astrology and stay up, just like you. We focus on news every day and watch them. But for last couple of days, I just feel like, oh God, really,
it's overwhelming. It's incredibly painful. It's overwhelming, and I've had to take a little bit of a step back this week, because I don't think it's been healthy for me. To be watching so much of it, because it's incredibly distressing, and we're feeling collective pain. Indeed. It's a collective pain. And that's another thing about the Venus-Neptune opposition. We can feel helpless, especially when it's across that Pisces-Virgo axis. It's like, well, what can I do? You do feel helpless, and then you think, oh, well, there's no point me doing anything, and you give in. That is a shadow side of this opposition too.
I agree.
But I think one good thing, Saturn from this weekend will be going direct. We need Saturn direct again for some sense of direction, if you can have that in Pisces. But it's just going around in circles in Pisces. But that Saturn in Pisces is also about collective responsibility. So I wonder now if Israel might let more aid coming from foreign countries.
Mm.
That could be that Sun Jupiter opposition as well, foreign aid,
Yes, yes.
you know, international
Mhm.
aid. So yeah, I mean, Saturn's going to take a while to speed up back to its normal speed,
Mhm.
but we need
Yeah.
that direct again. And yeah, for people to see the morals,
Yeah.
perhaps Israel might stand back and go, okay, right, perhaps some of the other nations requesting less aggressive assault, maybe they're right, perhaps. Maybe we need to be a bit more responsible here in the
Mhm.
way we deal with this.
Mhm.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
We'll see. And also at this moment, I think it's not only this setup spec, because I think I couldn't take my eye away from that Earth grand trine between the Venus tri Venus and the trine is about going to trine Pluto, and then there is kind of it's not totally a kite, but Venus is still away from Pluto. But for next couple of days, especially when it's opposite Neptune, it will form a kite around
Yeah.
there, and like you say, it touched the Israel's IC and I think the
Sun.
sun, right? The
Yeah.
sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really hope they can really strike a deal with about
Yeah.
hostage situation. I mean, the
Yeah.
these things, I think what they practical way they want to get hostage out. So no, there's no planet more significant but represented by Pluto. I think those are hostage, those prisoner, those people, those are victims.
Yeah.
Neptune and the Pluto. I really hope this set of aspect can ease the situation. They will deal, or they will be released. There will more people be released. That would be really really helpful. But what do we apply these in our everyday life about ourselves?
Okay, so I think that the Venus, that mutable Venus Neptune opposition, there's a lack of boundaries there without a
Mm-hmm.
doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us are feeling very defensive at the minute with all that Scorpio energy, very
Yeah.
defensive. We're feeling on red alert, aren't we? It's like, what's going to happen next? Is the war going to expand into the
Yeah.
Middle East and then into the West? We're all on high alert, I think. I think we're holding our breaths a bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
Almost. What's going to happen next? Which, and all that Scorpio energy, like I say, holds on, and it holds on to trauma. So I think we need to take the opportunity of this mutable energy coming in at the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
just to try and relax our defenses
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, okay? I think we need to examine where perhaps we are letting ourselves be defeated, because
Mm-hmm.
Venus Neptune will roll over quite easily, won't it?
Yeah.
We're talking about this war in Israel, but I think many of us have our own personal wars going on, whether it's family,
Yeah.
friends, or business, or in some area of our life. So I think we need to examine where we're at war with ourselves, or with our family, friends,
Yeah.
and use this. There's an opportunity to make some form of peace this weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look in our own lives where we can maybe just relax our standards, stop being so hard on ourselves, where we can perhaps be a bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of anger. That Mars in Scorpio next to the sun is very angry, and Pluto is very potent. It co-rules all that Scorpio energy. There's a lot of anger at the minute. We need to try and find some space for peace. We really do. We need to sit with ourselves and say, okay, how can I even escape from the war for a little while? Because that Venus Neptune gives us an opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
Literally, hopefully, the people suffering in Israel can escape across the border into
Definitely.
Egypt. But we need to look for ways in which we can escape the pressure. That Scorpio Taurus opposition is so much pressure. It's like a pressure cooker.
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
And if we don't find a release for that somewhere in our lives, it will explode, or even worse, implode. And it's worse when
Oh,
anger implodes into ourselves.
yes.
So like when if everything finally popped out of my gutter pipe this afternoon and exploded, right? But if I hadn't have done that this afternoon and this storm comes in,
Mhm.
I dread to think what would have happened with all the pipes outside my house
Yes.
with yet more water. It would
Yeah.
have just got to the point where I cannot take any more. I'm just going to explode somewhere, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Indeed, indeed. And I think interesting part, or I feel fascinating part of astrology for us is like everything, all the symbol are in the different unfolded or represent in a different form. They could be in the sky,
Yeah,
or they could be in the politic, they could be in our domestic everyday house things like your dream, and also it could be emotional or
yeah, yeah,
psychological,
yeah,
spiritual, whatever. But it's
yeah,
all go related to with this 12 side planet and
yeah,
everything. It was so interesting, like the dream, and like we stories coming, and we are worried about the things going to happen, and this what's happened in the Israel and Palestine. And well, I
oh,
really hope we can learn from the past. The hate
yeah,
never help. The
yeah.
hatred never help people to solve that problem. Um,
No,
yeah.
no, and that all that Scorpio energy at the minute in its worst, its most shadow form is pure hate
Mm-hmm,
and pure resentment
mm-hmm,
and pure a desire for revenge and a
mm-hmm,
desire for death and destruction in its very, very worst
it,
form.
it did.
And whether
Yeah.
that is a literal war,
Mm-hmm,
like we're seeing Israel Gaza, or whether it's all that resentment that we carry within
yeah.
us, and we poison ourselves. Hate and
Indeed.
anger poisons us.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much potential at the minute to, for us to be poisoning ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We need to sit the next few days and just see how we can make some peace somewhere
I
in our
agree.
personal and emotional lives. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So interesting. Thank you, Leanne. I mean, today I wasn't expecting to bring in the Israel and Palestine, because I think next week, in the next week's Mountain Astrology discussion group, we are going
Yeah.
to talk about
In
this deeply
detail.
in
Yeah.
detail. So if you are into Mountain Astrology, what's happening now around the world, every second Friday on YouTube, me, Leanne, and Luisa, Fernando, and usually we have Maria, and Anna. Usually, and this time we have the our colleague, I think Liz
Liz?
Hathaway, because
Yeah.
yeah, she's really following the Mandana astrology too, and she's very happy to join us to bring different voice and different analysis. So I'm so looking forward to next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this Israel and Palestine. Going to join us,
Yeah.
and then before we finish, next week, well, interesting. Next week, our guest astrologer will be Israel Ajose, and he is a very joyful, and
He's
I'm so
great.
looking forward.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to join us, and he's great. Yeah, so I'm so looking forward to see everyone next Wednesday. But thank you, Leanne, to join us there, and thanks everyone join us, and your feedback, and your comment, we appreciate it. And sometimes like I'm too totally focused with Leanne, and then the message was just passed, and oh, I haven't seen that one. So you're very welcome to leave a message and let us know what you like to talk, what you like to hear, and also give us some feedback. And thank you for everyone's contribution. Thank you, Leanne, to take your time out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks everyone. See everyone next Wednesday. And if you are into the Mountain Astrology, next Friday.
Take care,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye bye.